Did you know that the Maldives is constructing a 21 million square foot floating city to accommodate 20,000 people, and the United Nations is sponsoring a 700,000 square foot floating city project in South Korea? One of these mega projects will be about 25 times the size of Monaco itself, the second smallest sovereign state in the world. In this video, we'll reveal the most insane floating mega projects from across the globe. The first floating city in the world, Maldives, the floating city. Located 10 miles by boat from Maldives' capital lies the city of the future. Maldives' floating city will have 5,000 houses, shops, restaurants, and schools, all tethered to a 21 million square foot lagoon. It will comprise a group of hexagonal islands modeled after the geometrical shapes of the local coral known as brain coral. Each house will be about 1,000 square feet in size, with a terrace on the roof and a jetty tied to the front. The modular units are built and transported to the floating city, and are all fastened to a large underwater concrete hull that's screwed to the ocean floor and supported by telescoping steel stilts that allow it to sway as the sea moves gently. This allows the floating structure to move upwards as sea levels rise. Though under construction, the Maldives floating city has been shortlisted for the Best Future Mega Project award by the International Real Estate Professionals. Residents will start to move into the first housing units in early 2024, and the construction is due to finish in 2027. It will be a car-free zone, so residents will move around by foot, bicycle, electric buggies, and scooters. OCEANIX, Busan. Busan, South Korea's second largest city, is partnering with the Unhabitat and tech company OCEANIX. They intend to build OCEANIX Busan, a sustainable floating city off the coast. The idea was unveiled at the second United Nations Roundtable on Sustainable Floating Cities. OCEANIX Busan is designed to float on a cluster of thick, hollow, interconnected platforms made of concrete, covering about 675,000 square feet. The concrete platform traps air underneath them to keep the whole mechanism afloat, while the space underneath them serves as a storage area for energy and waste management systems. Developers also intend to use part of the underwater platforms to attract marine life and create coral reefs. OCEANIX will move up and down, not sideways, because a mooring system will connect the platform to the seafloor. The city's prototype can accommodate 12,000 residents, but because the platform is modular, developers can scale up the housing to as many as 100,000 people. These platforms will be arranged in a hexagonal shape. This neighborhood will include homes, local shops, restaurants, and a central gathering place called the community backyard. On top of that, there will be a research hub dedicated to hydroponic farming. According to the developers, OCEANIX Busan will produce its own energy, water, and food without relying on any of South Korea's resources. The floating city would cost an estimated $200 million, but based on the final design and the price tag, could be closer to $600 million. Construction will begin in 2023, and it's expected to be completed in 2025. The world's first ocean airport, Kansai International Airport. Did you know the world's first airport on water also holds the record for having the longest airport terminals in the world? It's also one of the most expensive airports globally, costing $20 billion to complete. Designed by Renzo Piano, the Kansai International Airport is located on a specially built island in Osaka Bay. It has two terminals, a control tower, the Osaka International Post Office, an access bridge, an observation hall, and wastewater treatment plants in the airport itself. The platform rests upon over 1 million support columns 65 feet deep into the sea and 65 feet deep into the muddy layer before being driven an additional 131 feet into the rock below. Its highlighting feature is its curvy roof design that aids air circulation and offers a clear view from the control tower. Blade-like deflectors guide the airflow along the ceiling and reflect the light from above. The roof comprises over 90,000 stainless steel tiles that keep the radiation off the project and protect the interior. To make the structure earthquake-resistant, the foundation was built with 900 pillars of about 80 million pounds of iron ore. The roof and the walls are not rigidly connected to reduce the shock that could pass through. They're also braced with a series of cylindrical steel members combined with tension cables to provide maximum resistance against external forces. Amsterdam's floating homes. Schoonschip is an experimental floating village in a neighborhood in Amsterdam. The developer's goal was to build a community for over 100 residents, revitalize a disused canal, and showcase how to build and live sustainably. The Schoonschip's neighborhood currently has 46 floating houses that resemble shipping containers with a green roof and solar panels to increase sustainability. This community is a circular and sustainable community with 500 solar panels, 30 heat pumps, and water treatment technologies. These floating homes are also incredibly stable. They're made of timber framed and built on watertight chambers, made up of concrete. The houses are permanently fastened to the bottom of the lake with steel moorings. This design helps the homes have a low center of gravity, enhancing the structure's stability. The world's largest floating structure, Oxagon. Part of Saudi's Neom project is the 8-sided structure, Oxagon, proposed to be Neom's economic and industrial engine. It will be developed as an industrial city to display a radical new design for future manufacturing facilities to support environmental protection. The floating city is located northwest of Saudi Arabia in Neom, with an area of 530 million square feet, which is 25 times the size of Monaco. It will be built on the Red Sea coast, supported by an automated port incorporating a smart supply chain network. And with roughly 13% of world trade going through the Suez Canal, this is a big deal. Although the developers haven't explained how the city will float, we know that Oxagon will be not only a tourist destination with glow-in-the-dark beaches, but also a hub for clean energy. The 7 sectors that will form the nucleus of Oxagon's industry development will be sustainable energy and use modern construction methods, all powered by a 100% renewable source of energy. Saudi Arabia hasn't revealed how much will go into Oxagon, but the mother project, Neom, has been estimated to cost $500 billion. Floating Sea Palace Resort in Dubai. Dubai is home to several amazing megaprojects like the man-made islands, and the city keeps adding to the list. Dubai is set to create another novelty, a luxury floating hotel, Kempinski Floating Palace. The Kempinski Floating Palace main building is structured in 4 parts and connected by a glass pyramid in the middle. It will be anchored next to one of Dubai's beautiful beaches on Jumeirah Beach Road. The floating hotel will have 12 floating luxury villas, only connected by pontoons. There's an idea for you. Each villa has 2 floors, a roof terrace, an infinity pool, and multiple bedrooms for crew and staff. Guests will be transported to their suites by speedboat or private boat as an option. The floating palace will be open to guests from 2023 going forward.